coming up 6 armed robberies. He's suspected of robbing not just one, but several cash advance stores in the area. We'll tell you all about this suspect and how he hit close to home. Charlie?
If you passed through 26th and Van Dyke over the last week, you may have seen some protesters near the site of the new Kroger. Well, coming up, I'll tell you what their protest is all about.
And the community is coming together, how neighbors are helping a local girl battling an unknown brain disorder. Dan?
Preparing for the worst. Coming up, I'll tell you what local law enforcement is doing to keep our community safe.
It's on this edition of Shelby This Week. Hello and welcome to Shelby This Week. It tops our news today. Construction of the new Kroger Marketplace on 26 and Van Dyke is well underway, but the company's choice to hire non-union builders is prompting protests at the development site. Charlie Cadotto tells us about the picket lines you've been seeing and explains what the dispute is all about.
We're here. We're going to stay here.
Over the past week, every day, Jim Ritchie grabs his picket sign and protests near the Kroger development site on 26 and Van Dyke.
Seen one more contractor come in.
But he's not the only one. Members from the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Union are angry with contractors for selecting non-union workers as part of the development.
If it wasn't for us, these guys wouldn't even have a job on this.
Doug Gettelson has been a union worker for 51 years. He says the protest is not sour grapes. They just want these contractors to join their union.
We pick at a lot of places, and the companies have come down and signed, and the guys are all happy for it.
As a right-to-work state, we do have, every worker has that right, including you and I.
MJC is the main developer of the 32-acre land. They sold 14 acres to Kroger and will be developing the rest of that area. For now, the union workers aren't protesting them, but that could soon change.
Stay tuned once we get further along with our own buildings as to whether or not it will affect us, but we're not too concerned about it.
For Ritchie, picketing is not always about affecting the company. Sometimes they just want to convince the non-union workers to join them.
A lot of people don't realize is at 55 years old, like me, you're wore out, your shoulders are gone, your back is gone. Without insurance and a pension, who's paying for it?
Protesters say they'll continue to be out here, but meanwhile, development is well underway behind me, and the new Kroger will include a fueling station, and other stores will be here as well. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadotto.
As we all know, election season is in full swing, and with that comes the drama. But in this case, one of Macomb County officials is under fire for allegations from the past 6 years. Nick Buckler digs into the past to find out more.
Macomb County Public Works Commissioner Anthony Morocco is more than a political figure, but also a business owner. Morocco and a group of investors that included developer Simone Morrow had owned Burning Tree Golf Club since 2004. However, the property was foreclosed in 2009. It wasn't until Morocco bought the club back in 2010 did things get sour. Morrow refused to hand over his share of assets to Morocco and business partner Anthony Finelli, which resulted in Morrow serving 2 days in jail, and he is seeking compensation for that jailing.
Our motion never asked to be put in jail. On the record, we never asked that. The court did it. If you look through the transcript, he kind of defied the judge several times, and I think that's why the judge did it. So I think that claim goes away.
In a more recent case, Morrow accuses Morocco of using his political position to delay projects that he is involved in as retaliation.
Late last year, Mr. Morocco had concern over Mr. Morrow because he doesn't stop on these kind of cases, and we asked the Macomb Probate Court to appoint a disinterested drain commissioner to review any plans Mr. Morrow or his clients or his entities would have. Judge Marlinga issued an order saying that the St. Clair County Drain Commissioner will review all these plans going forward.
We reached out to Morrow's party, but they did not return our call.
And Nick, I understand now that there's new accusations against Morocco.
Yeah, there are. Candace Miller's team actually released a press release this past week that says that the Macomb County Board of Ethics has opened an investigation against Anthony Morocco, that he allegedly used county office to hold a campaign press release, which, according to the 3.6 ordinance, section 3.6 of the ordinance, that you can't really do that.
Wow. So you'll be following this and...
I will be following this because a Macomb Township resident, Rob Montilla, filed a complaint against Morocco, and then that was all brought to the attention of Candace Miller, who obviously we now know is running against Anthony Morocco for the county works commissioner, and Morocco, as we know, is now a 6-time incumbent of that position. So this is all going to shake up, but as we heard Bob Kirk, his attorney, not really worried about these allegations. Morocco was served by the ethics board. He has 21 days to respond right now. So we will definitely keep you updated on all of this.
It'll get interesting, that's for sure.
It really will.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
A Lansing man is facing several charges in connection to not just 1, but 6 armed robberies in southeast Michigan, including one right here in Shelby Township. You might remember this surveillance camera image from when the Advanced America Cash Advance store on Van Dyke was robbed at gunpoint back in January. Police arrested Brian Ali Jr. in connection to this incident and quite a few others. Investigators believe the 32-year-old robbed the PNC Bank in Genoa Township dressed as a woman last month. He also allegedly robbed the Sterling Heights Check into Cash store and attempted a second time as well. The Advanced America in Clinton Township and the Check into Cash store in Waterford are also on the list from their robberies back in February. Ali does have a criminal record, and he's due back in court within the week. There's more to being a police officer than just patrolling the streets of Shelby Township and catching the occasional speeder or two. Officers go through a lot of training to keep our community safe. Shelby TV's Dan Meyer got a look at their tactical training to show us how they learn to keep you and I safe and themselves out of harm's way should the worst scenario happen.
If you turned on the TV recently, you understand that bad things can happen at any place and any time. And the men and women of the Shelby Police Department understand this. And that's why they took the proper training course this week to prevent the worst from happening.
Officers met for classroom training and outdoor exercises on what to do in the event that serious injuries should occur on the job and how to handle it while they wait for medical help.
We don't want them to have to really think EMS because they have a police job to do. So the way we design this class is we keep it very basic. And the training that they've gone through today is they'll know how to do a blood sweep, how to rapidly identify that wound, and then prioritize which one gets treated first, which one gets treated next, and then which one will get treated last. After they do that, they're going to have to evacuate that patient to what we call a casualty collection point, somewhere in a safe zone. So we had them go through a bunch of different types of way to carry patients. So we'll have to do a 2-man fore and aft, or like a modified way of carrying the patient to a casualty collection point where they can still provide their own security.
Where's he at? Where's he at? We don't know where he's at.
One of the drills even consisted of a simulated chaos scene involving no light. The officers had to put on a tourniquet with gunfire audio, whistles blowing, and even a strobe light flashing.
If we put an officer out there that's had the training and given them the tools and capabilities of doing it, we've done a tremendous service to our men and women in blue.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Dan Myers.
Thanks, Dan. The community is coming together to help a 12-year-old who suffers from a very rare, unknown genetic brain disorder. Emma has spent the last year getting scans, spinal taps, muscle biopsies, and countless blood tests. And now everyone's standing behind her with the support and their wallets. The Shelby Township Lions Club put on a fundraiser for her with raffles and silent auctions to help raise money for treatment.
The final goal of this fundraiser is to help the family cover expenses for all the uncovered bills that are going to be coming, the expenses for her insurance, because they are not covered, and just one of her genetic tests that she needs is over $10,000. The mother has not been able to work because she can't leave Emma alone, so they're working with half of their income, and their bills are just tripling. So we're just trying to help so that they don't have to worry about the financial burden, and so they can just concentrate on trying to get Emma some kind of treatment.
The hope is to raise enough money to send Emma to Johns Hopkins so they can find a way to slow down the disease. And when asked to help out, the Lions Club didn't hesitate to help throw the event.
When a cause like this is needed, we're here to help. We just jumped in, and to get $10,000, our goal is to get another 10 for her, is what our goal is. So with the thanks of everybody in the community, I think we can do it.
They raised more than $10,000 for Emma and her family, and they hope to raise more. If you'd like to help, you can head to their website, shelbylionsclub.org, for more information. For quite some time, if kids needed any type of rehabilitation service in Macomb County, parents would need to travel to get there. But that's not the case anymore. Beaumont has opened a pediatric rehabilitation center on Hall Road in Macomb Township. Programs include services for children with developmental impairments, language disorders, orthopedic conditions, autism spectrum disorders, or feeding and swallowing problems. For one local mom, her 19-month-old was born with a tongue tie, and an EMT recommended the new facility, which is helping him learn to speak and eat.
We have been working with him, teaching him sign language, as well as, the basics: yes, no, open, close, put it in the box, directions. They give me information to go home to work on things at home with him. They have done an amazing job working with him and working with my schedule, and the future looks amazing, and I'm very excited.
And there's a large team of physical therapists, occupational therapists, social workers, and speech pathologists. They all work at the center, and for them, this is more than just teaching a child to speak. It's about helping them live a normal life.
It's miraculous how much you can see of kids improving, that they go from not being able to do something to gaining confidence so that they can run on the playground or they can play with the other kids, or for her, she'll be able to reach new toys and travel by herself and gain independence. And with adults, I think sometimes they take that for granted, but with the kids, it's a whole new experience for them. So it's so much more rewarding working for the kids, I find personally.
So children can have various abilities. They could be born with congenital deficiencies. They could be acquired deficiencies, some conditions, diagnoses, and so on, which puts them under various kinds of developmental milestones that are not reached at the right time. So it could be physical, it could be cognitive, and so physical, occupational, and speech pathologists have a great role in trying to optimize what their abilities are, strengthen them, and be able to integrate in their daily activities.
The new rehabilitation center is officially open and accepting kids of all ages. Still ahead on Shelby this week, open to the public, why Kim Mather's court documents are now unsealed, and her reasoning as to why she's even facing an OWI charge. And we'll tell you how 6th graders are learning to be the future professional leaders of Macomb County. Stay tuned.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Unsealed and open to the public. That's what happened after Shelby TV first broke the story involving Eminem's ex-wife Kim Mathers and her closed court documents. But why those records were sealed in the first place, and now Kim Mathers is speaking out and giving her side of the story. Charlie Cadado is continuing to follow this case and has all the updates on where this stands. Charlie?
Unsealed. Over the past 4 months, I've been working on the story of Kim Mathers' OWI charge and alleged suicide attempt. The whole time, records were sealed. But just one day after our story aired, the court file was open to the public.
But do you understand the frustration that, a normal person can't have their DUI case sealed like that?
I don't understand that. I really don't. That's not true.
At the time, Mathers' attorney defended the decision, saying he couldn't talk about it because records were involved. Well, others have been talking about it. The story has made national headlines on CNN, TMZ, the New York Daily News, and dozens of other media outlets.
First of all, you guys of all people should know that our family has never gotten peripheral treatment or whatever in any court case that we've had.
We first showed you this police report, which said Mathers told a firefighter the accident was actually an attempted suicide. In response to that news, Mathers called into Detroit radio station Channel 955 to defend herself and admit she tried to commit suicide.
I sat at the end of a road where I knew that no one else but myself would get hurt. Yes, I drank, I took pills, and I hit the gas and aimed for a pole.
But Mathers says she never got special treatment. In fact, she says the media took the story out of context.
You're admitting was a suicide attempt?
Yes. And they knew that. That's why those records were sealed. There was medical information in there. It had nothing to do with the rest of the case.
Mathers also says her ex-husband has been very supportive.
People think that we have money, that it makes us happy. Yeah, I can pay bills. Yeah, I can get my kids whatever they ask for, and it's great to see them happy. But you lose friends, you lose family, you have no one to trust to even speak to about personal business. And it's hard.
For the record, we did try speaking to Mathers outside of court and at her home, but she was not interested.
And Mathers will be back in this courtroom on May 26th. We'll be there to see if that charge gets dropped. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadato.
At 11 or 12 years old, you wouldn't expect kids to be taking steps towards deciding what their future careers will be.
What do you like better, hockey or soccer?
I would have to agree with hockey because I've been playing it longer.
Good call.
If there's a sports option, I'd rather be like a basketball player or something, but, you know.
So would I, just wasn't tall enough.
Sixth graders from across the Utica Community School District attended the annual Career Luncheon. That's where they sat down with professionals in the field they might want to go into.
Our students have the opportunity to sit with the business community, to have adults listen to them, coach them, ask questions, for students to interview them. And this is an experience that several years from now they will be able to apply to a real job interview.
The professionals included people from law firms, the medical field, broadcasting industry, and many more. One by one, the students were able to show visual resumes and ask questions about what they do for a living.
The resumes were all video resumes, so they had, a QuickTime player ready to go and loaded on an iMac computer, which, I've never seen that before. Like, people come interview with me, they have a hard copy resume. These people have a video resume.
For the students, it was an opportunity to learn and pick the brains of successful adults in our community. And they certainly have their sets on some pretty amazing careers. While talking with the students, some said they wanted to be professional athletes. Another said she wanted to be a CSI investigator. And another boy told us he wanted to be a financial analyst. But no matter what, all of them had a fun lunch and learned a great deal.
We asked the man a bunch of questions about his work career.
I learned today that you don't have to follow what other people want you to be. You can be whatever you want to be.
Be you, really, because it's what makes you happy, not other people.
The Assistant Superintendent for Business Services for Utica Community Schools was given a big award for her contribution to the profession and the district itself. Stephanie Egan won the School Business Official of the Year award. Egan was instrumental in getting additional federal resources for the transformation of Utica High School, and she also implemented an international comprehensive financial report for the district, earning it a certificate of excellence. Congratulations to Stephanie Egan on this major honor. There's new leadership at the Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Melanie Davis was selected as the new president and CEO. She served on many different organizations and boards, including the Macomb County Chamber and the Detroit Regional Chamber. Davis will be responsible for the organization's operations and developing programs and services, among other duties. She'll be taking over for the former president, Wayne Omke, who's retiring after 20 years with the chamber.
1, 2, 3.
The ribbon was cut on the new location of Ohana Fitness and Wellness. And this isn't just any other gym. It's a place that offers yoga and total body workouts. The owners of Ohana pride themselves on being a center for all different ages and levels of fitness. So you don't have to be a bodybuilder or yoga nut to go.
Wherever you're at in your journey, we will meet you right there, and we will get you the best help that you need in order to feel like you're getting something out of your experience here.
Ohana also specializes in nutrition and meal plans and total body resistant exercises, something not all regular gyms do.
It focuses on core strength and stability, working a lot of mobility exercises that can be used within yoga and bar. We actually have a specific class with just bar and TRX that really does focus on everything coming from your core strength and using your abdominal muscles to make sure that you have good form, proper movement patterns, and overall good flexibility too.
And you might be wondering about the name. Ohana in the Hawaiian culture means family, which is why they chose it.
Every person is treated with respect that walks in, no matter what fitness level, what age you are. We're treating you with the respect that you deserve, as well as treating you like a part of our own family.
Ohana Fitness and Wellness is now open on 21 Mile Road just east of Van Dyke. The official grand opening is Saturday, May 14th. Coming up on Shelby this week, helping feed thousands in Macomb County. Find out how you can do just that without even leaving your front yard. Nick?
There's a new challenge in Shelby Township that involves prescription drugs. Coming up, I'll tell you how you can help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
We all have some unused medications that we didn't finish taking hiding in our medicine cabinet. Our Nick Buckler explains how the Shelby Township Police Department has a way you can clean out those cabinets.
If you've ever been inside the Shelby Township Police Department, you may have noticed a box with prescription pill bottles inside.
In the United States, there's a problem with heroin-related overdose deaths, okay? So what they found, a lot of these kids that are ODing, they actually didn't start using heroin, they started using prescription drugs.
That is why police are urging you to turn in any unused medication that you may have lying around. On average, the Shelby Township Police Department collects about 50 pounds of medication each month. However, this month, Dominic Bellicastro, owner of Da Francesco's Italian Cuisine in Shelby Township, has extended a challenge to the department.
Normally we get about 50 pounds of medication a month, which is a lot, as you can imagine. And if we're able to double that in the month of May, then Dominic is going to donate $1,000 to our DARE program, our drug education program for our 5th and 6th graders. So we're very appreciative to work with Dominic. He's been close partners with the Shelby Township Police Department for the last 20 years. And we're very thankful to him also.
You can turn in any extra or unused prescription drugs to the Shelby Township Police Department in a drop box in their lobby. Nick Buckler, Shelby This Week.
All right, thanks, Nick. Residents in a local neighborhood called police after several cars were seen speeding. So Sergeant Dave Taylor is patrolling the streets to help deter speeding and catch anyone breaking the law. It's a small effort, but neighbors are taking notice. One home on Lauren Drive, just east of Shelby Road, put up a sign that says, "Dear Officer, thank you for protecting us." And that sign may just be a small gesture, but it's a huge reminder of how thankful we are for Shelby Township Police. Many food donations come around Thanksgiving and Christmas, but in the summer months, the shelves of local food pantries start to deplete. There's a way we can all help, though. This Saturday, May 14th, the U.S. Postal Service is putting on their annual food drive, and it's really easy. Just leave a bag of non-perishable, non-expired foods near your mailbox before your letter carrier arrives. They'll then pick it up and do the rest. That food will go to thousands of families in need in Macomb County. It's become a big hobby in America. With television shows like Antique Roadshow and Storage Wars, antiquing is almost like a sport. Shelby TV's Arthur Schenk takes us on an inside look at a local flea market that's chock full of good finds.
Local collectors and antique enthusiasts gathered at the Knights of Columbus Park on 21 Mile for the Utica Antiques Market. And despite the threat of rain, it was bumper to bumper for this year's first show.
Yeah, this is the first day. It's the first show. We have 3 shows through the summer, May, July, and September. This is the first one. It's usually the biggest, but the other 2 are almost just as big. It started out at Packard Proving Grounds, and it got too big there, so we came to the Knights of Columbus grounds here in 91.
Okay.
But the show itself started in 87.
Obviously, if you're a collector, you know what you're looking for. But the popularity of antiques in recent years has created many different niches to fit the many lifestyles and decors of the average American.
Antiques are usually, anywhere from 25 to 30 years old and older. And a lot of the antiques that are here are refurbished. A lot of it's original, and they have shabby chic, to where people actually take antiques and make something out of it, like old doors and furniture and whatnot. And it's we have a lot of glass, a lot of collectible paper, small items, and furniture.
And from the looks of things at the Utica Antiques Market, people were ready to buy.
Our website's uticaantiques.com, and our phone number is 586-254-3495.
There's more good news for local collectors and dealers as the Armada Flea Market has recently opened as well. The deals can be found on Tuesdays and Sundays from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. through October. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Arthur Schenk.
Great, thanks, Art. And that's it for us here at Shelby This Week. You can watch us all the time on Facebook. Just search Shelby TV. We'll leave you now with spring scenes in Shelby Township. Thanks for watching.